Hi guys, how are you doing? Wonderful Sunday here in Utah. It is plenty warm, about 90 degrees, and just peaceful and quiet here. That's why I picked this spot to film many of my videos. Normally with my camera, today we'll have to deal with my phone. I hope will be working all right. Back there in the background, you can see my Ford F-150, and I'll tell you the story while we walk there. So I finally did it. When I bought it, I knew there was one big repair that had to be done. It's the belts, the timing belt, and also the belt behind the engine that goes to the fuel pump. Ford says they have to be done at 150,000 miles. But many people say you should do them earlier. Some say as early as 80,000 miles. Some say it's okay to do it between 120 and 140. So me being at 140, I felt like it was time to do it. Why was I hesitant? Because the money. I mean, I went to the Ford dealership where this truck had been serviced for years and years and years. It's in the year of the truck is 2018, and they wanted over $5,000 for that repair. So I was, no, that's too much. So I tried a couple smaller shops. I tried diesel shops, and some of them didn't even want to touch it. They said, that's an engine we don't know. That's an engine we've never worked on. They didn't want to do it. Some do it for just under $3,000, but nobody close here would do that. Some claim you can do it without taking the cap off the chassis, and it's true, I've seen it in videos. But nobody around here would do it. So what were my options? My options were going to a place between, I think it was expensive was, I can't remember. I think it was 6,000, or the cheapest was what was it? 2,800, I believe. All right, so I picked the closest and cheapest one, and it was slightly under 3,000 bucks. Now here comes the story. You know, it never goes as planned. You know how that goes. I don't want to really tell you where I went. At the same time, I'm not really hiding it because they didn't do anything wrong. It was just weird. So I dropped the truck off. I got a loaner car. I kept it there for, I think they only took about 2 or 3 days, and the repair was done. And I knew they would take the cap off the chassis. I'll blend the picture, I'll put a picture in the video. You see what that looks like. Not this truck, another truck. I'll put that in right now. And so they could access the belts. Well, they let me know that the repair is done, and that it will be a little more expensive because we also had to take the camper shell off. Oh, now the wind's kicking in. You know, the camper shell is right here. Had to take that off because otherwise when we want to pull the cap off the chassis, will hit the camper shell. And I can see on top there how that could be possible. Anyways, they removed that, and they had to remove the running boards. Had to remove the running boards. So I looked that up, and it sounds reasonable, but here it comes. It says 5 hours more labor. 5 hours. And I you know, they're really nice. I didn't want to get too rude, but I wasn't very happy. And it got cut a half, so 2.5 hours more labor. Now, 5 hours, be quite honest, that's ridiculous. You don't need 5 hours to take some running boards off a truck and move a shell back. That's ridiculous. According to the Ford shop manual, that should take, the running board should take, what was it, 2.5 hours if the customer pays. So how did they get, was it 2.5 hours? I don't remember, guys, sorry. It was around 2 hours, you know? So it was probably less than that. I would have to look it up. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the subtitles as well. So it was less than that. And to remove the shell, I would say half an hour, 20 minutes, less than that. Ridiculous. So that's how places try to get more money out of you. That's just what they do. Anyways, the belts are replaced. The truck runs good. We'll open the hood in a second. I got the old belts with me so that I could look at them, and to be honest, I'll put a picture in right now and see that they look fine. They look just fine. That was my luck, you know. On the other hand, better be safe than sorry, because what if the belts would have torn and on a family trip we would have had an emergency, and yeah, the truck would have been toast, you know, the engine would have been done if those belts break. So it's good that I've done it. Even the belts were still good. That's just bad luck, I guess, you know. I thought they would be worse than they were, but it was not the case. The belts were still good. See, the engine runs really smooth. The tick you hear is the DEF pump that ticks and clicks, but the engine runs good. And I have to say, I really like this truck. Gas mileage or diesel mileage, whatever you call it, is great. I get between 25 and 30 or 30 plus. The horsepower is pretty low, it's not as strong, but it pulls good enough, so you're not slow there on the road. So I really like the truck. I really enjoy driving it. Alright, so the belts are done. I'm happy about that. I'm not happy the belts were so good. I mean, I'm happy, yes, but I'm not happy. But you know, you can't change that. Why is that? Is it because the idle hours are lower on this one than other people's? Is it because the previous owner didn't tow as much? I don't know, and that's the problem. You buy a used truck, you don't know what the previous owner has done to it. You have no idea. So that's why I did this preventive maintenance, and I'm glad I did it. It hurt to spend that much, but over now, and now I hope the truck will be good for many years to come. Just wanted to keep you guys updated and let you know what happened, and this is it. This is what I've done, and I'm glad that you have this truck. I love it, and everything's good. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for all the support I've been getting. Please like, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't done that. Ask your questions about the truck. Tell me what truck you drive. Tell me what truck you would buy. I would love to talk about that. And did I tell you what it cost? Yes, I did. It was, you could say, roughly $3,000 was the repair. It was a little more, but not much. So $3,000 is what it cost. I think it's all right. I wish I had someone closer that could have done it for cheaper, but I didn't. So it doesn't make sense to whine about that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And I hope to see you soon on this channel. And hope we can explore more vehicles and have more fun with my vehicles. All right, guys. Have fun. Have a wonderful Sunday.